Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Josh and you're watching Our History. Today we're going over Groote Catrijn, whose ill-fated history includes being enslaved after defending herself to being involved with some of the most influential characters of the Cape Colony's history. So if you enjoy this, please be sure to like, and if you're new here, consider smashing the subscribe button. If this isn't your first rodeo and you haven't shown some love to the subscribe, now is your opportunity. Thank you for watching. Groote Catrijn lived in 1657 and being a slave was brought to the Cape Colony as a prisoner due to the murder of her lover in Batavia. Despite her unexpected background, she played a significant role in the early colonial society at the Cape. Her story has become one of the fundamental elements of the Solms-Delta wine estate. Notably, Catrijn holds the distinction of being the Cape of Good Hope's earliest documented female convict or bandiet, and she is also the mother of the renowned Snyman family. Her presence and experiences left an indelible mark on the history of the region. Groote Catrijn, born in 1631 in Palikata, India, was part of an indigenous slave-owning society. Palikata was a textile trading post of the Dutch East India Company on the Coromandel coast. The VOC traded various textiles from Palikata, including indigo, cotton yarn, and guinea cloth. Eventually, Groote Catrijn found herself in Batavia, the VOC's main trading and governmental center in Java, Indonesia. She worked as a slave in the household of Maria Magdalena, who was likely a freed slave herself. In 1656, Groote Catrijn was initially sentenced to death for the murder of her former lover, Klaus van Malaberse. However, her sentence was later commuted to life banishment to the Cape of Good Hope by the Governor-General of Batavia. The Governor-General determined that Catrijn's actions were in self-defense, as Klaus had sexually assaulted her during a physical struggle. In her defense, Catrijn used a hay ladder to strike Klaus in the lower stomach, resulting in his bladder bursting. Klaus passed away 4 days later due to the injury. Following her banishment, Catrijn served her life sentence as a company slave of the VOC. Catrijn arrived in the Cape on the 21st of February 1657 after a journey of approximately 3 months from Batavia. The average time it took to cross the 5,900 nautical miles to the Cape was around 3 months. Later, after her arrival, she worked as a washerwoman at the fort of the present castle. It is highly likely that she worked for Jan van Riebeeck during his 10-year rule from 1652 to 1662. However, after van Riebeeck's departure, there were frequent changes in command at the Cape for the next 20 years. Due to this disrupted rule, the official memory regarding Catrijn's status as a convict and slave for life became blurred. Upon her arrival in 1657, Catrijn discovered a remarkably small female population in the Cape settlement, consisting of merely 14 women, whether emancipated or enslaved. Given this scarcity, it is unsurprising that Catrijn engaged in relationships with freed slave men, as well as European VOC sailors and soldiers. As a result of these unions, it is reported that Catrijn mothered 4 children. The relationship between Hans Christoffel Schneider, a company soldier from Heidelberg, Germany, and a black servant girl had significant consequences for the genealogical line of many South Africans today. In 1667, Schneider left his post as a sentry at the fort to spend time at the living place of this well-known servant girl. As a result, he was convicted and given a 2-year sentence on Robben Island. Besides this time in prison, Schneider also had to forfeit 2 months of his salary and endure physical punishment. Groote Catrijn's illegitimate son, Christoffel, was baptized on March the 9th, 1669. He used his father's surname, and this tradition continued with his own children, establishing the South African Snyman family lineage. Christoffel later became the second owner of Delta Farm, known as Zandvliet at the time. In 1671, Catrijn married Antonie Jans van Bengali, who was the first known free black to buy land and be a registered landowner at the Cape of Good Hope. Catrijn was granted freedom by the authorities to marry Antonie, recognizing their pioneering spirit and contribution to the community. Information about the museum. The Museum van de Kaap, located at Solms-Delta wine estate, showcases the story of Groote Catrijn and Christoffel Snyman, among others. This unique museum, residing on the original wine cellar from 1740, focuses on the societal history of the estate spanning 320 years. What sets this museum apart? The authentic voices of the individuals, allowing their story to be told. Both historical and archaeological evidence of the farm's inhabitants are on display, highlighting the main themes of the museum. However, the significance of the Solms-Delta lies in its connection to the larger historical events and processes that that shaped the Drakensberg Valley and South African society as a whole. The Museum van der Kaap is open 7 days a week, free of charge, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. excluding December the 25th and January the 1st. Visitors may also enjoy wine tasting in the museum complex. If you made it this far, I hope you're really enjoying this channel, and if you'd like to support the creation of more content like this, because all contributions are greatly appreciated, consider joining the channel in the membership tab or check out the Patreon link in the description below.